Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mrs. Stewart.
Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, boys and girls. I'm so glad you came to school. Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, Mrs. Stewart.
Good morning, Mrs. Stewart. I'm so glad you came to school. Good morning, Mrs. Stewart.
Good morning. You may be seated. I want to talk to you about something that God gave you first. Let's talk about something that God gave you right here. What did he give you? He did. He gave you ears to hear. Everybody in this classroom can hear. God gave you ears to hear. Now, some people are born, they have ears, but they cannot hear. That means they're what?
Blind.
Not blind. Blind means they can't see.
Deaf.
They're deaf. That's right. And they learn to communicate, and they learn in a different way than we learn. But when we can hear all kinds of things, can't you? You know your mommy's voice, don't you? If your mommy was calling you, it's time to wake up, Jonathan, you know that it's your mommy's voice. But if it was your sister telling you to wake up, you know that it's Olivia, don't you? You know that it's Olivia telling you. So you know the difference, Jonathan, between Olivia's voice and mommy's voice. You know the difference between your daddy's voice, if you have a brother, and your brother's voice, because you learn to hear and learn the differences in the way sounds are. Things sound differently. What about if somebody was calling your house? What would you hear?
Their voice.
Well, if somebody was calling you, if you're sitting in your house and you're hearing something, and that means that somebody's calling you, maybe grandma's calling you, she doesn't live in town, and she's calling you, what would you be hearing? The what?
Sound.
A phone, the telephone, right? And what does that usually sound like?
A bell.
Like a bell or like a ring. You would hear the phone ring because you know that somebody's calling because you hear the ring. Now, some people don't have phones that are in their house, but they have a cell phone. And sometimes maybe you're in the car and you can hear mommy's cell phone going off. And maybe it has a special song on it and you know, oh, mommy, somebody's calling you because you can hear that sound. What if you couldn't see? Maybe your eyes are closed, but you're at a stoplight and all of a sudden you hear ding, 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 ding. What do you think would be coming?
Train.
A train, that's right, because you might not have seen the lights because your eyes were closed, but you could hear that there was a train coming because you could hear that bell, that the sound of a train, because that's the sound that always goes off when a train is coming. So you know that a train is coming. So there's different sounds for different things. Let's listen to this thing right here. Listen to this. Can you hear that? That's the sound. These have little ridges on it, and you can hear the little ridges. But what if I did this? What does that sound like? Well, it kind of sounds like I'm knocking, doesn't it? Or like I'm hammering something. That's what it kind of sounds like, doesn't it? It sure does. Now, close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Don't peek. Open your eyes. What did that sound like?
Maraca.
It did sound like a maraca. You're right. This is a maraca. And what does it sound like there might be inside here?
Little tiny balls.
Little tiny balls or beads, or it almost sounds like there might be some little broken pieces of something in there. And that's the sound. You can tell that that's a maraca. So if your eyes were closed or you couldn't see, you would be able to use your ears and hear that sound. Good job. All right, close your eyes. All eyes closed. Do not peek. All right. What instrument did I just use?
Drum.
The drum. Good job. I did. I used the drum. Let's listen again. It was the drum, wasn't it? Good job, because you could hear the drum. Sometimes drums sound really deep, and then other drums just sound like this that you can hear. Good job. All right, close your eyes. Okay, pick up your eyes. What does that sound like?
A bell.
What kind of bells does that remind you of?
Sleigh bell.
Not a train bell.
A bell.
Well, it kind of sounds like a Christmas bell, doesn't it? It sure does. Listen to it. I just played jingle bells, because these are the kind of bells that you would hear. They kind of remind me of sleigh bells. And that's the kind you would hear at Christmas time. Sometimes you'll hear things and it'll remind you of things. Maybe a song that you hear will remind you of something special. Maybe you'll hear these bells, and these kind of bells will remind you about Christmas time. So sounds sometimes will remind us of a memory or something fun. So we will hear something and it'll remind us about something. All right, close your eyes. All eyes closed. No peeking. No peeking. I see you. Don't peek. Heads up. What did that sound like?
I don't know.
Well, it's another kind of instrument. It's called the cymbals. The cymbals, listen. Let's see who would like to use my cymbals. Carter, come use the cymbals. All right, turn and face your friends, and let's see if you can use them. One more time. That was loud. Let's see who else could use the cymbals. Oh, put your hands down. Let's see. How about Bethany? Bethany, come use the cymbals. All right, let's see. Turn and face your friends. You could do a little bit too. Do a little bit. Just go. Doesn't that sound pretty? All right, good job. Thank you. All right, and then there's other sounds that we hear that will remind us about different things too. So here we go. Close your eyes. Are you ready? Don't peek. Pick up your head. What is that? A cow. It was the sound of a cow. What does a pig say? That's right. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, pick up your head. What do you? It was a sheep. Look at my little sheep. Listen again. Show me what a sheep says. Bah, bah. Good job. What does a horse say, Cyrus?
Neigh.
Neigh. Good job. What does a donkey say, William? Do you know? Remember in our song? What does it say? Sweetly sings the donkey at the break of day. If we do not feed him, hee-haw, hee-haw. So that's what a donkey sounds like. Now close your eyes. Don't peek or speak. Just listen. Okay. What do you think that was, Connor?
A bird.
It was a bird. Listen carefully. It does. And remember, different birds say different things. Sometimes, remember the whippoorwill? What does a whippoorwill say?
Whippoorwill.
Whippoorwill, whippoorwill. And so you would know that that's a whippoorwill instead of a different kind of bird. So each bird has its own sound, just like you have your own sound, and just like your mommy has your own sound. If you were in a place with lots of mommies, maybe you were at church or somewhere, you would know your mommy's own voice. So if you hear your name being called, you know whether it's your mommy's voice or not. God gave us ears to hear so we can hear all kinds of wonderful things. We can hear the birds chirping. You can hear other animals. If you ever go outside, maybe at night you could go outside and you can listen and hear some wonderful things. When you're out camping, you could hear some of the bugs that are out there, or some of the other animals that are out there, and you could hear different sounds because God gave us our ears so that we can hear. Aren't you glad that God gave each one of you ears so you can hear all kinds of different fun things? You can hear new songs to sing, you can learn your verses, and that way you can learn to read as well, and then you can learn all kinds of fun things and their sounds because you have ears to hear. Boys and girls watching, maybe you can go in your backyard today, maybe even this evening, and you could listen for some new sounds that maybe you've never heard before.